Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to today's lecture. So today we will be continuing the topic of digital audit and assurance chapter number 12. Okay, before I proceed to the topic, I would like to discuss, about a quick recap of what we discussed in the last lecture. Okay, so in last lecture, we discussed about about auditing digitally, digital audits, and we discussed about various things with respect to the digital audit and auditing digitally. Okay, I want a quick recap from you guys. Can anyone explain me, okay, in few words, what is the difference between auditing digitally and digital audit? Can anyone explain me in few words that what is the difference between auditing digitally and digital audit? Come on, guys. In few words, difference between auditing digitally and digital audit. Anyone? No? And can anyone tell me in few words? What is the difference between auditing digitally and digital audit? We have discussed this in last lecture. I want from you guys in few words, like if anyone can explain me what is the difference between that. Okay, good Sunny, good Robin. Anyone? Okay, good Mancha, good Viraj, very good. Okay, you guys, you guys are correct. So, auditing digitally talks about using IT technologies to increase the efficiency of the audit, whereas digital audit talks about auditing the digital environment of a client. Okay. Now, once we once we understood the difference, we understood what is the key features of digital audit. What is the benefit of digital audit? Like it is kind of provides savings in times and cost and human efforts. It's more reliable audit report, uh, technological advancement. So can anyone tell me, like, why I say this is more reliable and improves the quality of audit? So let's talk about digital audit first. My question is, why digital audit improves the quality of opinion and why it leads to more reliable audit report? Anyone? I know there is a line written over here that digital audit report improves the quality of opinion, but how? Can anyone tell me how? Can anyone tell me how that it improves the quality of audit? I'm talking about digital audit, not auditing digitally. Okay, Robin. Mm, okay, Suraj. Mhm. No, Mancha. Come on, guys. Okay, over there. Good, very good. Come on, quickly. How? Basically, I'd say that, through digital audit, I can improve the quality of opinion. How? We have discussed this yesterday, guys. Come on, quickly. It's pretty easy. Nothing hard in this. See, digital audit doesn't mean that we are testing 100%. No, that will be incorrect. If I say digital audit means testing 100%, that is totally incorrect. And if I say digital audit is something, testing automatically without manual intervention, then that is also wrong. Then why I say that digital audit improves the quality of opinion? Why I say? Tell me. See, Robin, it's not about again, 100% testing. No, Suraj is not related to the manual intervention, or Mancha is not related to the transparency. There is something more to the digital audit. You guys have already learned it. You guys have already, we have discussed it multiple times. Very good, Mancha. Yes. Suraj, I think the analysis you are talking about could be, more on the side of auditing digitally. So when you do auditing digitally, you use tools to better analysis and some data analytics. Not about the digital audit, but it will be related to the auditing digitally. Come on, guys. I'm still waiting for answer. No one? No, I will not proceed till the time you answer this question. Because that is the base of what we are understanding as of today. If the base is not clear, we cannot proceed further. That is a base why a digital audit improves the quality of opinion. Okay, tell me what you do in digital audit basically. You audit the client's technology, correct? How now correlate with that? That how auditing the client's IT infrastructure technology will help you to give your better opinion, quality of opinion. How by auditing that I can improve my quality of opinion. Try to correlate with that. Try to correlate with that particular part. Come on, come on. Okay, let me tell you. So, yes, Suraj, to some extent, yes. So basically, see what happens in digital audit. Digital audit, what you do is you perform a detailed risk assessment, testing, analysis of the client's IT infrastructure. Wherever there is a IT controls, ITGC controls, application controls, and various type of IT controls, you check for their reliance. You check, can I get some comfort or evidence from by testing these controls? And see, when I talk about audit evidence, you take some audit evidence by testing of control. You take some audit evidence by substantive testing to complete the required audit evidence you need for your opinion. Now, the benefit of digital audit is that in IT controls, in IT, application controls, ITGC controls, you need to test these controls once because they are logic based. If they are working fine for a particular one sample, they will work fine for all the samples because the logic is same. There is no manual processing involved. It is the automated processing. So it saves time, cost, human efforts to test these controls, to place reliance on these controls, to place reliance on these systems. Once you have reliance on these control systems, then you can get a good amount of audit evidence by testing those controls. Okay, in a lesser time, that is a very important part. In lesser time, you get a good amount of audit evidence, and then you need to just fulfill the rest of the amount of audit evidence through substantive testing. That's it. So that's why digital audit helps and improves the quality of opinion. I hope I'm clear now. Why digital audit improves the quality of opinion? Because in lesser time, you can get a good amount of audit evidence. And if you can get a good amount of audit evidence in lesser time, you still have a time resource left out for other audit procedures. Number one. Number two, by performing lesser substantive audit, you can get, you can complete the bucket of your sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Okay. Then we discuss about the advantages of digital audit. Then we discuss the challenges in digital audit. We discuss about auditing digitally. Okay, key features of auditing digitally. Okay, then we understood about the risk, system metrics in detail, like how the system metrics works. Okay, understanding what is key to understanding control environment, IT risk. Then we discuss about cyber assessing cyber risk with respect to remote auditing also, like what is the cyber risk, malware, ransomware, trojan, then phishing, then spoofing, okay, insider threats, a lot of things we discuss. And we discuss about the cyber risk assessment. Now before I go to the cyber risk assessment, can anyone tell me the stages in cyber risk assessment process? What were the stages in the cyber risk assessment process? Stages in cyber risk assessment process. Come on, guys. Stages in cyber risk assessment process. There were, I think, 5 stages in cyber risk assessment process. Can anyone tell me? Or cyber security framework, basically. Both were same. The cyber security framework or cyber risk management process. There were 5 steps. Can anyone tell me that? Come on, guys. Can anyone tell me? Come on. Okay, Mancha. Good. Good. Tanisha. Good, Robin. Good, Suraj. Good, Uday. Very good, guys. Yes. So the 5 stages were around basically, first we identify what is the risk. What is cyber risk? Malware, ransomware, spoofing, phishing, whatever it is. Second, then we protect ourselves from the risk by implementing, whatever framework we can implement, by whatever systems we can implement. We try to protect ourselves. If still some incident happens, then our third job is to detect that incident immediately. Once we detect that incident immediately, then we need to respond to risk and we need to recover back. Clear? So that is something we need to do, okay, with respect to the cyber risk management process. Identify, you protect. If something happens, then detect, respond, and immediately recover back. So that's a cyber risk management process. Okay. Now, we also understood some, type of controls we discussed in the last lecture. Now, the very important topic I want to discuss about is remote audit. Okay, very important topic, remote audit, and that is happening a lot as of today. Happening a lot. Remote audit or a virtual audit, or kind of, where I audit through online internet of some client. Okay, so I do remote audit. I do audit through use of electronic means. Okay, and I contact the client through electronic means. Okay, now can anyone tell me what are the benefits of remote audit? Anyone? Can anyone tell me what are the benefits of remote audit? And how many of you have done remote audits? How many of you have done remote audit? Come on, guys. How many of you have done remote audit? And what do you think are the benefit and advantages of remote audit? Come on, guys. What do you think is the advantage of remote audit? Advantages of remote audit. Anyone? Yes, very good, Mohammed. Very good, Suraj. Yes, Mancha. Yes, Robin. Yes, Charu. Very good. Yes. So, when I talk about remote audit, the first thing comes in my mind with respect to the advantage is less cost to auditor because I save my traveling cost, I save my traveling time. Okay. Second, flexibility, work from office or work from home culture, in corporate environment. Ease of conducting the convenience from anywhere. Okay. Can do audit of distance and inaccessible clients. Very good, Suraj. Yes. What else? What other benefits do you think other than the cost and travel? What other benefits do you think are there other than the cost and travel? I know cost and travel are the biggest one, but still, if I talk about other than cost and travel, Anyone? Very good, Tanisha. Yes, that is less disruptive to the daily work process. Absolutely correct. Suraj, so less chance of influence by client. Yes. Tanisha, simplifies audit, enhancing the reliability of the evidence recording with mobile devices. Okay. What else? Direct access to the ERP client rather than providing information sought. Okay, good. Yes, that's good. Anyone else? Promotes an agile auditing process through use of security enhanced cloud computing which support easy document sharing and video conferencing software. Yes, Tanisha, good. Less involvement of management. I don't think so. It's a less involvement of management. Okay. I'll tell you about, more about remote audit. Yes, so there. Use online means to collect audit evidence and documentation. Yes. See, I'm not sure how many of you have done a remote audit. I have done a lot of remote audits till now. Okay. So what happens in remote audit? Number one, I can start the audit immediately, quickly. Like, earlier I used to travel, I used to meet people. First, I used to take their appointments and everything. Now, with the help of, a lot of systems like Teams, Zoom calls, and, Google Meets and whatever we have in the market, I schedule the call by seeing their calendars, immediately call schedule with the client. Okay. I ask them, okay, if you are available on this particular day, your calendar is showing free, I'll book a call. I book the call, I bring everyone on the call and then start discussing that I'm going to audit your entity. Okay. Then within a day or two, I start sharing the requirements list. I start sharing, the accesses that I need of the ERPs. I start sharing all the information that I need for the purpose of audit. And trust me, like the usually what used to happen earlier is used to go and meet a person. Okay, this is the client person, he will provide you access. This is the IT team, he will provide you access. This is the person who will look after for this particular data, he will provide you the data. So you used to go from desk to desk, or you used to meet people to people earlier. But now I bring everyone onto one single call and I, explain my requirement and that is done. It becomes, very easy for me to plan the audit and to track the plan or, the audit process. Why? Now, what I do is in remote audit, once I raise the requirement, I can easily track, okay, what was the date that the requirement was tracked, sent, okay, requirement list. So once I share a requirement list with a due date, I keep tracking whether I've received the data or not. Number two, I before starting the audit itself, I know there is no travel at all. Everything is required to be done online. Okay. So I plan each and every phase of audit specifically to particular dates. Like, okay, this is the date when I will be doing this. This is the date I will be doing this. This is the date I will be having calls, daily connect calls, monthly calls with the clients, customer, clients, or accounts department, finance department, whatever. Okay, we have a today call with the procurement department. We have a today call with this department. So, you plan it in a so efficient way that, it becomes very easy to execute. Number two, confidentiality of the data. Earlier, what you used to do is, I'm not sure how many of you have worked in that environment, but earlier, before we had good emails, let's say for example, your email has a 35 MB, or some emails have a 15 MB attachment restrictions. You cannot attach more than that. Before COVID, I don't think so. Most of the companies were using SharePoint or some Google Drive to share the data. What they were doing is they were providing the data in pen drives, in hard disk. Okay. They were providing the data in removable storage devices. Now, because of that, there was a risk of data loss, data theft, data corruption also. So what used to happen, I'll tell you one classic example from my audit. So client gave us a sales register. Okay. He gave a sales register in Excel. So we were there on the system when we took out the output of the Excel. We saw everything is perfectly fine. No issues. He gave us in a pen drive a sales register. Now report was verified that I made sure, report is complete, whatever is appearing on the system. Okay, fine. The moment we tried to open that pen drive in our office, that was showing corrupted. The file was showing corrupted. We were not having any other backup because that was the thing, we just saw at the client place. We came back and we tried to open at our office, in our office, and it was gone. The data was gone. Now, think of the effort because the client was not located in the same city. Rather, the data was obtained from a far location of a plant. And because of that, what we had to do is, again, we had to call the client, do one thing. This is a person that will be visiting again your plant. He will extract the report from your system. He will, keep it in pen drive. You please mail us that pen drive again then. So we arranged a third party to visit just to extract the report, because I cannot trust on the client with respect to the extraction. I need to make sure whatever data or report I am extracting from the system should be complete, accurate, okay, and there should not be any unauthorized changes in integrity of the data. So I had to send a third person. He extracted the data, then they mailed us the pen drive, or the removable storage device to us through courier, and it took a lot of time. So basically, in case of remote audit, this is not the scenario as of now today. We have a lot of technologies available with us because of that, and we can smoothly plan our audit. We can smoothly share our data with confidentiality, security. We can also at the same time take care of our data protection. We can do immediate risk assessment, and that is very much possible. Now, that was a very good side of the remote audit. Trust me, very good side. You can plan your audit appropriately on Mac. But there are some downside also. Disadvantages. Can anyone tell me the disadvantages of remote audit? Disadvantages of remote audit. Anyone? Okay, tell me what are the disadvantages of uh, remote audit? Yes, very good. Mancha. Come on, guys. Disadvantages of remote audit. Okay, so very good, Mancha. Network issues. Suraj, internet, access to the internet, yes. Tanisha, so if there is any suspected or colluded frauds, there will be a less chance for, it could be caught by an auditor. Less knowledge of the client's environment, which is the basic to conduct the audit, yes. Anumula, cannot check physical, client may not have sufficient network. Mancha, sometimes we are not allowed to access sensitive and restricted systems. Yes. Tanisha, reduce ability to make detailed observation on audit evidence. Yes. Very good. Okay. I'll tell you these, all functions cannot be performed by online means we have to visit some client place. Second, input provided to electronic device are wrong, then it will lead to wrong conclusions. Yes, very good. Charu. Some situations are not suitable for remote audit and require physical presence. Absolutely correct. So one such example is inventory count. Now that is the biggest problem today we face with respect to online audits. Physical counts, whether it be inventory, whether it be fixed assets. How to conduct physical counts in a remote audit? You cannot do that. You cannot just see documentations and I'm done with the physical count. No. Do whatever you want. You cannot conduct the physical count online. So there are still big disadvantages also. Number two, network issue. So whenever I used to ask a very critical doubt to one of my clients personnel, he used to turn off his mic for 10-15 minutes. He used to call someone, I don't know what, and then he used to come back and used to say, sorry, there was a network issue, I was not able to answer. Can you repeat the question again? Or sometimes he used to leave the call and then used to say, okay, I'm not able to join because of some network issue, I'll connect you later. So yes, these are the issues. In physical, they cannot run away. But yeah, in sometimes, in calls, they do try to run away using these techniques. Okay. Then basically, when I talk about, limited or, very limited interaction with the client, that comes with the body language. See, whenever we will also see in our chapter on the fraud investigation, forensic accounting, the reason why physical is also required is because once you speak with the client, once you speak the question, now his body language, his his the tone, the way he is speaking, okay, expressions, so all these things also convey some information which might not be there in his answer. For example, I'm saying, if I ask, okay, have you taken the stock count? And if the body language of that particular client's personnel, or the you can say the tone, the way he is speaking, okay, let's say is giving an impression that the count was not conducted. So on the paper, he's not confident enough, then it will give you a different indication. But that is not possible in online calls. So you cannot see that basically. You cannot analyze the body language. You cannot analyze, the tone. You may be able to analyze the tone, but you may not be able to analyze the expressions, the way he's speaking, or, how much confident he's about a particular thing. Now, third is, at times, in one of my audit, what we face an issue is the client was still managing manual documents. Now, what was the scenario is he was still managing the manual documents. So whenever we used to ask the documents, he used to send us a scan copy of that. Now, in that case, what used to happen is we were not sure when this document was actually created or signed. I could sign today, I could scan and then send you that. But that because of that, we were not able to validate when this document was actually created. So the audit trail somewhere of that document was missing. Then you can say, with respect to security and confidentiality, although I'm saying, we have a good security because data is being transferred online. we have a good amount of cyber security threats also, because now most of the data is transferred online. High cyber security risks are there with respect to the remote audit. Then again, now some systems, some data cannot be verified at your end. They cannot send everything. For example, payroll details of CXOs, okay, and what ESOP they are going to give to CXOs, that cannot be, might not be, they might not be able to share you. Or another example, if I talk about any merger and acquisition is going on, a separate project is going on, which they don't want to disclose as of now, because that's a altogether separate deal advisory and everything going on. They will not share you the data. They may ask you to come and see the contract in their office, but they may not ask you to take a copy of the contract, and they may neither provide you the copy of the contract. So for those kind of scenarios, you might need to visit their office. I have seen, face such example where, very critical a transaction was happening, a deal was happening. There were some important documents with respect to that deal, which was in the head office of the company, although in in electronic formats, but they were not allowed to share the documents with us over email. For that, we had to visit their head office. We had to see those documents on their PC. We were not supposed to take copies of that, but we were supposed to make a extract, or some kind of notes out of that, so that we can keep it in our audit documentation, something on that. So we went there in their office and we took out the details, the extract of that particular some part, and then we came back, which is not possible through online audit. Plus, when you are not on ground, you will not be able to understand what is happening on the ground. See, with the help of documents, you will be able to see the financial thing. But with the help of documents, you cannot see the quality. You can see the numbers. That's it. That's what I feel is personally. While performing the remote audit gives you the comfort on the numbers, it does not give you the comfort on the quality of the process. How much safety is appropriately, safety measures are there in the plant. Okay, what is the condition of the inventory that is lying in the plant? What is the production quality that they are producing? The production time. So in manufacturing plants, remote audit is somewhere I still feel is not appropriate one. But again, it has advantages and disadvantages both. I cannot do scrap verification. I cannot perform bomb reconciliation. So there are a lot many things, okay, which I cannot do just by sitting at a remote location. Now the question is, it is possible to appoint CA or a third person or a professional, some other professional to conduct stock or inventory audit, which we can use in our audit? Answer is yes. Definitely yes. You already have a basis for that. SA620. Remember, using the work of an expert. You can appoint another expert. He can perform on your behalf. Perfectly fine. Or using the work of another auditor. Appoint another auditor for that particular plant. He will conduct the audit, inventory audit. You can use his work. So that is still possible. 600, 620, you can still go for it. There is no restriction on that. But at the end, you need someone to be there. That is the thing. If you need someone to be there, then it's not a fully remote one. Clear? So we discussed about feasibility and planning. We discussed about the confidentiality, security, and data protection. We discussed about the risk assessment. Okay, advantages and disadvantages, which includes network issue, limited or no availability of the visualize. facility culture, okay, body language. We discussed about, doctored documents, okay, security and confidentiality violations with respect to cyber security risk. Sensitive IT system may not be allowed access to sensitive IT system. For example, the real one example, okay, lack of knowledge of local laws and regulations. And the last one is, very critical when I do a remote audit of an entity which is into some other country. For example, I'm doing audit of an entity in Africa. I don't know local law. I might not be having, knowing their local language. So let's say, for example, you are auditing a particular branch or a company which is situated in a region where people don't speak English, in somewhere in Africa. They only know local language and their documents are in local language. For example, you are auditing a company which is in China. Documents are in Chinese. They are speaking Chinese. They are not good at, let's say for a hypothetical example, they are not good at speaking English. You might need to pay someone additionally for translation. You need to, bring a translator with you in the calls for the documents, because lack of English, lack of, understanding of the documents, lack of language will ruin your audit. And that will increase your cost of audit. Now, someone has said, can we use Google Translate? See, a lot of companies don't allow using Google Translate. See, why I tell you there is a reason behind it. Number one, Google Translate is secure. I'm not saying it's not secure. But what happens is whenever you scan a particular document, that document goes into the server. Servers translate that document, okay, and then send you back the translated version. Now, what happens is a lot of companies have a policy that critical data should not go outside the the land that has been created by the company or company's network. So when you use Google Translate, the data goes to the web server of Google outside the company land, outside the firm's network. Okay. And once it says that it is a saying in IT that once you lose the control over the data, it's out somewhere. It can be used for any purpose. So that's why a lot of companies do not prefer using Google Translate. I'm not saying it is bad or it's stealing data. No, I'm just saying it's sometimes it becomes, not in line with the policies that the company have. So example, so what you can do is now not a fully audit, not a fully physical audit. Now there's a time of hybrid audit. For critical things within the plant, for rest of the thing, perform remotely. So basically what happens is we create two set of teams. One team which will go to the physical location, one team which will be coordinating from back office or from the remote locations. Together they both try to complete the audit. So physical team goes for 1 week, wrap ups everything and come back. Rest of the teams which are on the back end or which are performed remotely, they will directly will be in contact with the client and they will wrap up from the remote locations, majority of the things. So this is something we most of the audit firms are adopting as of now. Any doubt? Any doubt till now? Okay. The next topic that I want to discuss is about emerging technologies in audit. Remember auditing digitally by using the technology. Then what are those technologies? Okay, these technologies, for example, data analytics tools, CATs, which are known as ACL, Alteryx, Power BI, Caseware, artificial intelligence, robotic process automations, and blockchain. Okay, these are the emerging technologies, not the only technologies. I'll show you something more on that. Okay, don't worry. So, first of all, before going to any of the tool technology, to show you an example, why do you think we need these tools? Let's say, for example, data analytics tools. What is the benefit of data analytics? What we can do by performing data analytics? Can someone tell me what is the benefit of data analytics? Why we need data analytics? Come on, guys. Why do you think we need data analytics? Come on, come on. Why do you think we need data analytics? Yes, Suraj, to understand data and its implications. Mohammed, to refine the data and get the desired output. Yes, Mancha, for better decisions, to understand the nature of transaction in better manner. Yes, very good. Yes, absolutely correct. So through help of data analytics, we can basically, increase the identification of the exceptions. We can analyze the data, we can analyze the trends with a quick, click, and we can find out if there is something wrong. We can find out if there is something, not appropriate with an immediate action. Okay. So audit analytics is kind of, involve analyzing large sets of data to find actionable insight, trends, draw conclusions for informed decision making, basically. Okay. So it's very, you can easily identify the some exception. Now there are various tools with respect to data analytics. We have ACL, we have Alteryx, okay, we have Power BI. Okay, I'll show you some with examples and then we can, discuss much in detail. So I'll start with the Power BI. How many of you have already seen Power BI or used Power BI? How many of you have seen the Power BI or used the Power BI? Come on, guys. How many of you used or seen the Power BI before? Just, want to understand before I explain you in detail about the Power BI. Okay, I show you an example. Just want to have a quick understanding how many of you are aware with this tool. So accordingly, I can, provide insight of this. Anyone? No? No one has used till now? No one has used till now? Okay. So basically, Power BI. Okay, yes, Mancha, good. Okay, not used. Okay, no issues, no issues. In Excel, okay, good. Basically, Power BI is kind of a tool, which is used to do a quick data analytics. And I'll show you how, and how it is used. What is the things which are used in Power BI, and quick example. I'm sure many of you might have seen what you say in Excel charts and something. You might have already used charts and everything. Okay, so if you have used charts and other way of charts, in in Excel, the same is the Power BI. Same is Power BI, but the only difference in Power BI is you actually okay, you actually what you do is basically you sometimes you have a large set of data, very large set of data, and that large set of data requires a very powerful tool to analyze whatever you have prepared. So for example, at times Excel will not be sufficient only to analyze the data, because large data is there, and by creating multiple charts, constantly changing data, doing analysis is not sometimes that feasible. So hence for that, Microsoft came up with a tool of a Power BI. Let me share my screen. This is an example of a Power BI tool, like corporate spending sample file. This is a sample file. Okay, not a detailed file, but a sample file. So see, with just one click, I can just easily understand what is the data over here. Let's say, for example, I don't want to see the Europe region spending. I'll just click it here. I'll click US. So I now know what is the US region spending. So which countries are there? What was the category of the spending? Okay. Then what period wise spending is there, cumulative one, like how much is total. Okay. And then I have a plan versus everything, variance plan and everything. I have in detail that particular one. What was the variation by business area and everything, variation of quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and something like that. Okay, with a quick click, I can just do understand the data. For example, BU support, I just hover it and it will show me a trend. Okay, in which month the data was it got a jump, or in which month it was a different. With a click, I can get the data of only that particular segment. Let's say I want infrastructure. I'll just click infrastructure. I'll get infrastructure. If I click BU support, I'll get BU support. But BU support has BU manufacturing R&D. See, just one with click, I'm analyzing the data. I'm doing a detailed analysis. For example, R&D services. I just need R&D service. I'll click R&D service. It will show me it is a part of BU support, and this is the one. So it's an interactive way of dealing with the data. And this was only US. I can just go now Africa, New Zealand, or let's say for example I go to Africa and Asia. Okay, so this shows me what is the situation in Africa and Asia. So with a quick clicks, I can now have my dashboard. I can now understand the data. I can do a lot of analytics like trend, variation, a lot of things are there. This is just an tip of an iceberg that I'm showing you. Let me show you one more example. So that was the spending one which I showed you just now. I'll show you another one, sales related. This is sales related. Okay, sales overview, sample data. So you can see what is the quality, revenue in pipeline, user wise, category wise, everything. With just in a single dashboard, I can see everything. If I just want to filter, let's say for example, I want to see With respect to device, what is the revenue that I have? With a one click, the numbers will change. It will show me what is a category I have. What that is, if that I want to e-reader platinum 8-inch 32 GB device, how much it contributes, where it contributes more. If I want to have trends, I can get, by just one click, I can get the trends of, revenue. I can get a summary also, not only in charts, but in a summarized form. I can see, like for example, every data is there. Just with one click, I can get the details. For example, US West. With one click, it will show me computer software or whatever it is. Or let's say, for example, I'll go to the trend analytics. So it will prepare a trend analytics for me. Let's say I'll go to the insights. This is running analysis is creating insight using AI. So it has created insight using AI. Not predefined, but created using AI. Okay. So let's say, for example, there are two categories, like, what is revenue I won, what revenue I lost. So it is again running analysis, creating insight, and it is showing me where I have lost the revenue. Days to close, sales discounting. You can do a lot of data analytics in Power BI. There is no limit for that. This is just an example that I'm showing you. Just an example and the tip of iceberg. Power BI, and I feel Power BI handles data analytics more appropriately than Excel, to be frank. So Power BI, again, it's a product of Microsoft. It's the same product, but I feel, Power BI is a kind of developed for that because it can handle multiple type of data sources. It doesn't have only one data source. It can handle multiple type of data source. It can handle multiple type of, charts, diagrams, and it can be used for any data set. I feel. So again, can be used for a lot of things. Not only that, I'll show you another example. This is for HR related data. Number of hiring. Okay. Let's say I have active hires and separations month wise. So it will be, let's say, for example, in June. So I have variations by reason, like male, female, age group, everything. So voluntary, everything is voluntary. Here I have involuntary. So, a lot of details I could have just by click of with one click. Let's say, for example, I want to click August. I will get all the details, what I want. Bad hires, or whatever it is, whatever data I want to call, I would get with just one click. So this is Power BI, a tool designed to provide with the clicks the data analytics to you. So the question, someone has, Mancha has a question, can we use MS Access to analyze the data set? See, Mancha, MS Access is a database. Means it is designed to create or store data. If you use database to analyze the data, it will not give you the optimum results. Trust me. However, if you have data in MS Access based database, okay, let's say for example, you have MS Access based data set that you can use in Power BI. You can import data from MS Access, and Power BI can help you out in analyzing those data. So this is an analytical tool. You can bring data from any data source, like one lake data hub is also there. So just an example I was showing you guys, So a lot of data sets, a lot of things are already there in Power BI. So this is one of the tools that I wanted to show you. And this is just one of the chart of the tool, but yes, that is the Power BI tool that I was talking about. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Yes, idea is also a very good tool. Any questions, any doubt? So there are multiple tools, not one. Rather, there are multiple tools, I will say, and these multiple tools, is kind of some are the market leading ones, some are tools which are already known for their specific use. Okay, so based on that, tools are there in the market. So let me show you one more tool if I have the access. Just to give me a minute. Just a minute. Let me show you one more tool if I can get the access of it. So as I told you, there are various tools. Okay, one such tool is kind of Alteryx, which is there. I'm just loading the tool so that I can show you the example of the Alteryx that I have. Now, basically, when I talk about Alteryx, okay, it is again a tool which is basically designed on the same category. Like you have a Power BI, but it is more advanced compared to the Power BI because you have a lot of function in Alteryx. With respect to the Alteryx, you can not only do normal data analytics, but you can do machine learning related things, you can do text mining, you can do interface, you can do data investigations, and a lot of things is possible. A lot is possible. So Alteryx is kind of, a tool which is there not only to perform data analytics, but it is there to perform what do you say, detailed statistical scientific data analytics. So it is not only for the simple and easy data analytics charts based. No, you can do statistical and scientific data analytics also in what do you say, Alteryx. You can write your own scientific formulas to do data analytics. You can write your own statistical formulas to do data analytics. So Alteryx is basically for the high-end data analytics. Okay. Again, it's a workflow basis. It requires, setting up everything. Although it is not a script based, it is not coding based, but yes, it requires some kind of, knowledge. Okay. And it can be used for various purposes. So one such example is there, various, they are creating this, what do you say, clustering. So I'm showing you clustering example in the Alteryx. Okay, so by way of clustering, you can get the output of, so in statistical testing, we have a clustering of data. Okay, so you cluster the data in quartiles or, percentiles or whatever it is. So based on clustering, you can get the output as you want. Okay, so that is one part of the Alteryx that I was showing you. Let me show you some more. Then you can write your expressions. You can, do predictive modeling. I'll show you the predictive modeling part in Alteryx. Just a minute. I'm opening it. So there are various steps in each and every activity. Okay. So if you do predictive modeling also, you have various steps you need to do. You need to complete those various steps basically in order to, provide that predictive modeling outcome appropriate. Just a minute. It's a video. Let me open the file directly. Just a minute. Let me open that predictive modeling dashboard. Hmm. So with the help of Alteryx, you can do a detailed, what you can say, in-depth data analytics, in-depth analysis of the data. You can do statistical sampling also. You can do statistical testing also. A lot of things are possible in Alteryx. It's taking time. Just a minute. Oh, it's taking time. I don't know. Might be a system issue, but whatever I have shown you till now, that's a Ultrix one. I don't know. It's taking time. Let's leave this one. Okay, let's leave the Ultrix because it's taking a lot of time. I don't know why. Okay, so that was Ultrix. Okay. Uh, then the next part I just want to show you. If I have a ACL script, if I have that one, I can show you one ACL script. Hmm. I'm just opening one ACL example so that you can understand what is ACL and how it is used. So if I just show you one ACL script, this is a basically script to just what do you say, can be used for multiple purpose. I am just showing you one ACL script, which is, again, it's a group related thing. It groups the data, it tags, whatever data is. If the person is from particular category, then it will tag that person, and accordingly, it will create the data. So ACL is kind of scripting tool. Okay. You have to write script in ACL in order to work. So again, ACL has its own syntax. It's a programming based. So what you need to do is in ACL you need to create whatever script you need. Okay, and based on that script, the tool will take the data and will perform some analytics. Whatever based you have given to that. Just an example of a script. Okay, with respect to grouping one. This is not the actual data analytics scripts, because actual data analytics scripts are much more complex, are much more what do you say, uh, bigger and heavier. So that is one of the script. Now once I have the script, I need to run in the ACL tool. So then ACL tool then will help me to perform the data analytics. So this is one of such example of a ACL script. Okay. Then you have multiple functions in ACL, again, which can extract data. It can be, a lot of functions are there in ACL, which you can use and you can, get the output. And again, it's kind of a Excel functions, but they are more highly customized to basically, data analytics. So Excel functions customized to what you say, data analytics is kind of, is a ACL. If I just show you one example, if I have one more example of data analytics, just a minute. Yeah. Again, this is one of the example of ACL script. Basically, what it does is you have to specify the formulas, open, accept, whatever you need to do, all trim, or based on this you need to create formulas. Then based on this particular script, ACL will run this script, ACL tool, and then it will help you to give whatever data you want. So here you have specified what to do with the data, and ACL will prompt accordingly. So for example, dialog title, it will give a dialog to select something. It will, give, here is a kind of, you can say, the logic of the tool. And then if I show you some another example, some more part of this particular script. Okay. So if I show you some more part, it says that, here, it will set the filter over here. It will accept whatever you have given as a setting, and it will then summarize your data. So kind of this way you need to create a ACL script. Then once a dialog comes in, you need to provide the data. Once you provide the data, based on the logic, it will work and give you the desired output the way you want your output, with the subtotals, everything is as the way you want. So this is one simple example of ACL. Many people create advanced ACL scripts which are more complex, more what do you say, you know, uh, kind of high performing scripts, I would say, which can do a lot of data analytics. Any doubt with respect to ACL? I'm just showing you an example, not only the tool which is written in the books, but with an example. Any doubts? There are multiple formulas in ACL. To combine the data, to sample the data, to do the data analytics. There are analytical scripts. A lot of things is there in ACL. Any doubt, guys? No. See, there are two things. Data mining is not doing the analytics. No, data mining is not doing the analytics on the data. However, data mining is a process of extracting the data. First of all, extracting the data. Second, discovering patterns in the large data set. So what basically I do in data mining is, first of all, I extract the large data, gathering the data, because I'll mine the data I need. Then I will see the trend analysis in that data. That is kind of data mining. So extraction plus some kind of trend analysis. There is a no standard thing that is run in the data mining, but there are multiple type of analysis which are done in data mining. Okay, usually I would say it is related to the more it's a process rather than one activity. Data acquisition, data cleaning, data preparation, data modeling, data forecasting, data analytics, a lot of things is there in data mining. So we saw ACL, we saw Alteryx, we saw Power BI. The fourth one is a caseware. Sorry, but I don't have the access to the caseware. Okay, it's again data analytics tool, which is the way I showed you the other data analytics on the similar line. There is nothing much difference in that. Automated tools in audit. Yes, there are many automated tools, and I'll show you how. Okay, I'll show you some of the examples, not all because of the restriction of the access, but yes, I'll definitely show you some. But before we do that, I propose let's take a quick 10-minute break. After the break, we'll gather back and I'll show you those tools also. Okay, let's take a quick 10-minute break. Nisarji, Nisarji, break. Let's take a break here. Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's continue the discussion of the topic. Okay. Now, I would like to discuss some more part of the IT tools and how we can use these IT tools more in more depth and detail. Basically, when we are doing audit and everything. So let me explain some more automation tools. Okay. See, guys, I already know that you might have heard these things, you might have heard these particular areas, but just for better understanding for those people who have not used yet. IoT or Internet of Things. IoT is a kind of thing where you connect your all devices on a single platform, on a single network. Okay, so you interconnect them so that they can work efficiently. For example, biometrics machine directly connected to the ERP, or you have a lot of things connected together. For example, printers, they are now more advanced, connected to your computer. So kind of an environment where every data is passed on to one to another system for the analysis purpose. So that's the concept of IoT, Internet of Things. Okay, it's a connection, it's an internet connection of various things. That's it, IoT, Internet of Things. Okay, now with the help of Internet of Things, you can do a lot of automation. For example, earlier, uh, so sorry, Suraj, I don't have the example of caseware because I don't have the access to that particular tool. That's why, because that are some these tools are some are restricted kind of things. So I was talking about Internet of Things. For example, I'll just show you tell you one example. So there was a printer which was set up in such a format that on a scanning tray, if you keep one paper, it will automatically pick up, it will scan, and if there is some it will pick up, it will scan, and it will send to the office mail ID or the common mail ID of the office for storing purpose. For example, bills, invoices, and everything. So the printer was, the scanner was set up in such a way that you just keep the invoice on that scanner, the scanner tray. It will pick it up, it will send to the mailbox of the invoice processing common mailbox. Now, then that mailbox was set up in such a way that whatever invoice comes in the mailbox, it will pick it up, it will do OCR, okay, optical character recognition. Based on the OCR, it will prepare an invoice processing receipt or slip. That invoice processing details slip then goes into the ERP. ERP processes accordingly and goes for the approval. So think, just by putting one piece of paper on a scanner or a scanner tray, from there to direct, going for the approval, direct invoice, getting all the details filled by the OCR, by, AI, and, on the basis of that, creating invoice processing request, going for the approval. Just by keeping the paper. That is the, interconnection of the devices with one another so that it automatically process the data from one to another device or system. So that is an example of Internet of Things. Clear what I meant by Internet of Things? Now each and every tool has an audit implications. Each and every tool impacts my audit on a larger extent. So we need to not only understand the tool, we need to understand the impact of the tools on audit. Okay, impact of these technologies on the audit. Now, let's say for example, the paper I kept till the time of processing, it is automated. The system will take OCR, creating invoice into ERP, sending it for the approval as per the approval metrics. Everything is automated. Now the question comes is, the moment I say automated, I need to understand what are the controls which are placed for these automated tools. For example, the moment I keep the paper, the control that the tray will take the paper and scan it. Second control is OCR recognizing appropriate text. Based on the text, a system is creating invoice processing request in the ERP and it is sending for the approval. So each and every process requires one control. What if someone places incorrect invoice? What if someone places invoice which is not in a clear format? It is blur or it is, some kind of ineligible format. What if the OCR did not work and it picked up wrong text? Instead of euros, it picked up dollars. Let's say, for example, your invoice one was in euros, 50 euros. However, it processed $50 or 50 rupees. It is not picking up the currency. A lot of scenarios, a lot of problems can be there. Okay, so we need to understand what is the connection of the system. We need to understand the system itself. We need to understand what are the controls behind those systems, and we need to keep our team updated, upskilled, so that they can test those controls, the design and operating effectiveness of the control. So audit firms need to train and upskill the auditor to evaluate the design and operating effectiveness of those controls. The OCR control, the control which is there, that it is sending to the ERP for processing, it is selecting correct approval, a lot of things are there. Okay, so as an audit implications, the more tools are there, the more requirement from the auditor is there to test the controls behind those tools. See, only tool is not sufficient. There should be controls behind the tools to support appropriate working of that tool. Are you getting my point? So the more IoT, the more understanding of the systems, the more I need to evaluate the design and operative effectiveness of the automated controls. Here, I'll give you one simple example. Okay, you go to McDonald's. How many of you have seen a machine, ordering machine outside the McDonald's, not on the counter, but other than the counter, ordering machine that you select the order, go to the pay amount, you pay by card and order get placed. Now you just need to go based on your ticket number, based on your number, code number, or coupon number, and you need to pick up your order from the counter. How many of you have seen those machines? Now think of an example. Whenever I place the order, the machine fetches the appropriate and calculate the price accordingly. Whenever I place the order, I do the payment. It checks with the payment gateway that okay, payment has been received or not. Not only that, it sends the order to the kitchen. Kitchen then accordingly prepares the order. But the another leg is that order goes into the ERP as a sales. The order quantity goes into the ERP as a sales. Okay. Same way, the moment I put the sales, a cost of goods sold is also recognized. See the interconnection between everything. Interconnection between things. I ordered burger, so the patty will be, patty, burger bun, and everything will be utilized, will be, booked as a cost of goods sold immediately with one sale. On the basis of that, okay, so you have controls, you have systems connected, you have everything in place. So the auditor needs to understand how these things work. He needs to gather the understanding. He needs to train and upskill himself. Okay, so then only he will be able to understand what is the input in one system, what is the output in that system, and how the output of that system is becoming input of another system. Yes, Charu. Same kind of machines are there in PVR for ticket booking and for food buying. So these automated machines, vending machines are kind of a good example of IoT. Any doubt? Any doubt? Next is AI, artificial intelligence. Okay. Before I go in depth with the artificial intelligence, can someone tell me some example of AI tools? AI tools that you have seen till now. Anyone? Come on, guys. Some AI tools. Yes, correct. Correct, Suraj. Correct, Charu. Very good. Yes, Mohammed. Yes, Uday. Okay. Now we are discussing AI tools. Okay. The way we discuss about the IoT, same way we will be discussing about AI tools. Now, how you can use, so first question to you guys is from my side, how you can use AI tools in an organization. Not audit, but in an organization, client place. So how client can use AI tools? Good, Anumula. How client can use AI tools? Where client will use AI tools? Come on, guys. So I'm talking about like, okay, you most of you know ChatGPT, okay, Google Bard, Microsoft Copilot, everything is there, fine. Alexa, limited one, okay. But the but
Harsha, this might answer your question. Driving drunk is never a good idea.
so these kind of things are there, okay. Basically, now the question comes is where the business use these devices or AIs basically in their what is it, decision making or in their day-to-day operations where. Okay, so to automate the repetitive task and less human interaction work. Okay, good. Coding of application used in entity. Okay, great. To take investment decisions. Great. What else? Planning and tracking of the new startup business. Okay, good, Charu. What else? Where business can use these tools? Designing strategy formulation. Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. Where else? To reduce turnaround times. Absolutely correct. I'll show you one example of all these things together. You might have already seen ChatGPT. Nothing new with this particular tool. Okay, let me do something with the tool and then we can see. Hmm. Okay, great. Let me first, bring dummy data. Just a minute. So I have some dummy data with me. I have some dummy data with me. Stop. No, wait. Some more. Hmm. So I asked the tool to summarize the following data analyze the following data for me. So I gave him some data. Okay, now he's analyzing for me. The data includes information about products such as this. Okay. Then the segment include government and this, countryside this, discount bank is this, unit sold, everything, potential. Okay. It is doing analysis for me. It is analyzing, analyzing a data for me. Okay. Now it has this data and I have did a quick analysis on this particular data. If I ask him what would be the appropriate price at which I could have maximum sale of Montana product. So there are various products. So I'll say Montana product based on the above given data. See, it is saying me that based on the provided data, it seems that the sale price of the Montana product consistently at $15. Okay. And the unit sold vary across the different segment and countries. To maximize the sales, you might want to consider maintaining sale price at $15 as seems this very common value in the data set. So he's talking about something 15 because this is the unstructured data. Okay, that's why he's doing $15. Okay, $15 thing. This is the unstructured data. If I structure this in a CSV format, wait a minute. Just I'll show you one example of the CSV analysis of the data. So I'll create a CSV format of a data. File, save as. Wait a minute. I'm just trying to show you some examples of data analytics that, or some kind of business operation that can be done with respect to the data. Now I converted the data. Please analyze the data in detail. Now I gave the data in a CSV format. Let's see if it is capturing and doing the analysis or not. See, it not only analyzed the data. So earlier I gave him unstructured data. Now I gave him a structured data. But see the analysis he has done. Like recommendations considering exploring pricing strategies for Catena product as it has higher sales price and potential of for increased profit. Monitoring and analyzing the performance of this product, especially in the enterprise segment in Canada, where it has shown high profitability. Okay, highest gross price, highest gross profit. So if I ask him what would I'll repeat my above question on the that particular one. So what would be the appropriate price at which I could have maximum sales of Montana product based on the given set above data set? Again, it is showing same thing, like $15 maximum because of the reasonable choice and everything it is giving, analysis and decision making. This is one of a kind of an example, okay, of analysis that is being done, data processing kind of, I will say, that is being done. Now the question comes is, if this is one of an example, can I use this particular tool, not only this ChatGPT, but any AI? Can I use any AI to process a transaction, to verify some transactions for me? Okay, like for example, I can give him the list of customers. Can you prepare, or let's say for example, let's say preparing a statement for requesting some vendor reconciliations, vendor statement. Okay, prepare a draft, not let's say request letter, but a contract, draft agreement letter for construction project for a customer named ABC Private Limited. The agreement should contain at minimum the escalation pricing clause, then confidentiality clause, then you have a progressive billing clause, restricted liability clause. Okay, at minimum, and restricted liability clause. Okay, I'll do enter. So it will prepare an agreement with the minimum given clauses, whatever I have given to him, and it will give me the output. So some companies, what they might do is, they might use this AI tools to automatically prepare the customer agreements. Now the question comes is, whenever customer agreements are based on these tools, like in this way, okay, whether this is an appropriate way, okay, whether this is an appropriately prepared or not. Let's say for example, I connect this tool, some AI tool, with my system, and I ask him, okay, whenever this milestone is getting achieved, just prepare an invoice, send it directly to the customer, monitor for the collection, and let me know if there is any outstanding. Think of the artificial intelligence that we are now implementing in our business processes. Example, I just show you some example. Okay, now the question comes is, what are the audit implications of these artificial intelligence? Can anyone tell me? Like, okay, this is a good for business, I agree, but as an auditor, what we need to check when we are dealing with artificial intelligence? As an auditor, what do you think you should do when you come across such a tool which is backed by artificial intelligence? How will you audit that? Now, question comes in on auditing of these tools. How will you audit? Come on, guys. I showed you some example. Now the question comes to you that how will you audit these tools? Come on, guys. How will you audit these tools? If I ask you, can you go and check the logic of ChatGPT? If you are using ChatGPT in your organization, can you go and check the logic of ChatGPT for testing purpose? Can you go and verify how the ChatGPT is processing a particular transaction? Come on, guys. Anyone? Okay. Can you check the code behind it? Can you check? Second is authenticity and privacy of the data. Yes. Third, we should understand the algorithm of these AI tools before the audit. See, algorithm is very difficult to understand because these are not simple tools, but these are the tools which are, are prepared based on the machine learning, and you cannot understand the algorithm. For example, I'll give you a simple example. I'll show you one more thing. So I asked this tool, ChatGPT, to prepare a dummy set of data which should look like real data set of sales and sales return, and it should contain at minimum sale date, customer name, and everything. So this is a product code, everything is there. Okay, if you see, everything is there. Like whatever I asked him to do, he created everything for me in a way that like I needed to look. Quantity, product, everything is there. Okay, like if it can create a dummy data so easily, it can also process a dummy data, or it can process incorrect data. If it can process incorrect data, then see, verifying the algorithm is not possible for these kind of tools. You cannot verify the algorithm, you cannot verify the code, because it's a very high database code, and it's based on the machine learning plus the data lakes. You cannot verify. In that case, how will you take the comfort that the AI which is being used in business processing is appropriate? How will you verify that? So the only way we can verify that AI is working appropriately or not, because see, in AI we know that invisible nature of algorithms and non-availability of the codes is a very big problem. You cannot validate the logic. Hence, you need to focus on the logical flow of the processes. The output of one becomes the input of other. Then, if you have an output, some controls around verifying the output. So the output should be appropriately reviewed. If I cannot review the code, if I cannot review, the logic within the AI, I should at least review the output of the system. Okay. So I need to first understand how these systems are being deployed in an organization, how these systems are working, what audit trails these systems are leaving, how AI affects the entity flow of transaction, including generate of report or analytics used by the management. Then in that case, then I need to understand how I can verify the output generated by AI. And I can get a comfort on the AI. Are you getting my point? So it's not easy to audit an AI tool, but at the same time, we need to think where the AI is being used. Accordingly, we need to devise our audit strategy. Whatever tools we are learning here, we need to understand their implication on the audit. Clear? Any doubt? So security is one of the risks. Okay. Another risk is understand, malfunction or badly configured, then it can, become a problem. Data privacy is another problem. So these are some common problem or risk in AI tools. Any doubt? Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? Okay. Now the next concept that I want to discuss is on the blockchain. Okay. So you might have already heard about the term blockchain. You might have already seen with the Bitcoin. Okay, Ethereum. So ETH. So if I just show you one ETH blockchain. So I'll show you ETH or Etherscan blockchain. Okay. Just a minute. And I'll explain you what is that so that you can get a good idea of this particular concept. Now this is the ETH blockchain. Okay, Etherscan. From here, I can check each and every transaction which is happening in the blockchain. What is a blockchain? Blockchain basically is a type of trail where what you say is basically what happens is when anyone does a transaction, it is combined in a particular blocks, and that block is then added to a chain. So block by block, you have a chain. Now, why this particular concept is unique and it is very preferred? The reason because is that with each of the block, this is one block. This block has 101 transactions, 31 contract internal transactions, 16 withdrawals in this block. So each block has a particular ID kind of, you can say. Okay. But what more important is that when I go to a block, let's say, for example, I'll go to each block. I'll take it some, other blocks which are already confirmed one. Let's say this is the confirmed block, basically, with 129 transactions, 305 internal contracts and everything. Okay. Now I have this block, basically. So for each block, I have a hash. Now what this hash does is, it's an ID for that block. Okay. It's an ID for that particular block. Now, if this is the ID for that particular block, then I'll show you one more thing. This block and the immediately one block. Block number 82 and block number 81. Now see the ID of block number 81. This is ending with BA02. And see the ID of block number 82, DE16. But not only that, this block has a parent ID, which is ending with BA02, which is this one. Same. If you check this one and check this one, it is same. Means that each block has an ID embedded of a previous block. So for example, what I will do is, let's say, for example, if I delete any of the block from the chain, so somewhere I will get in the problem because the parent ID will not match. If the parent ID is not matching, means the block is not authentic. The integrity has compromised. That's how the blockchain works. That in each of the block, you have a ID of that block, plus you have a parent ID of the previous block. So that it, creates a chain kind of thing. What now, block can contain any type of data. That is not restricted to only transactions, but any kind of data. And if a tool is there, like these are the chain analyzers. So what they do is, they verify the block. So whenever I want to process a particular block here, what I'll do is, the system does is verifies the ID. Okay, appears to be genuine. It goes to this particular ID. It says, okay, I have parent hash, and the way, I have a chain behind that. It verifies all the chain in the transaction, ID by ID, ID by ID, ID by ID, ID by ID. It verifies the chain. And once it verifies the chain, then it comes to know, yes, the chain of transaction is good, appropriate, there is no breakage in that. And accordingly, it posts the transaction in this particular state root. If you see this one, so everyone has a specific state root. Okay. So then this posts the transaction in this particular state root into that block. So a lot of things are there in not only one particular thing. That's I'm just simplifying a detailed concept. So don't think that is only this one, but it is a very huge concept. It's not only about containing the parent hash, but it contains a lot of parent details. So if I see in this also, I have a parent hash. So if I click here, it will take me to a previous block with 80. Now if I click again to previous one, it will take me to another block of 79. If I click again, it will take me to 78. See, 78. And each of the block is then summarized in a ledger, in a chain. So you have a summary in the chain, plus you have a detailed blocks. And not only, so it works on a very different level, but I'm just, summarizing the concept for you. So that is a blockchain that we are discussing over here. A concept where it's a decentralized distributed ledger that is secured through encryption, because these are encrypted ones. You see the hash ID and everything, that's an encrypted. Each transaction is validated by the block participants. Block participants, if I show you over here, if you see, this is the block participant, fee recipient, the person who has received the fee. Now he has verified. And if I go to the consensus information, wait a minute. Yeah. So proposer fee, everyone, you have the proposer of the transaction. So you have a concession information over here, fee receipt, block, reward, a lot of things are there. Okay. So Beaver Build is a fee recipient. Now, who is a Beaver Build? If you see, it's the address of that particular person who has processed these many transactions. So it's a decentralized format. I can see everything. Everything is available. Okay, he verified in 12 seconds and he got some amount for that. So this is validated by the blockchain participating, creating a block information that is replicated and distributed to all participants. So it is everywhere now. Everywhere. Not only on my PC, but it's everywhere. Because of being a decentralized, it is everywhere now. Okay. And all blocks are sequenced. So there is a sequence attached to it. Okay, all blocks are sequenced that any modification or deletion of a block disqualifies the information. So once a person goes to processing, of the block, he verifies the sequence. If sequence is fine, the block is no problem in processing the block. If there is a disturbance in the sequence, if there is modification in the sequence, the chain will go. We cannot process it from where there is a disturbance or modification. So let's say after let's say 79, I was not able to identify 78. The chain will cut off at the 78. So chain will again start from the 77, then 78, 79, 80, and it will start building. That is a blockchain. Because of the security, because of the decentralization, because of the encryption, it is very, very very much adopted. What do you say? Industry wise. Now the audit implication of this blockchain. Okay. See, when I talk about audit implication, I already we have security, we have decentralized ledgers, but there is a very big risk associated with this. Number one, processing of the block. Now, processing of the block can happen if the chain is appropriate. What if the current block, okay, is not appropriate? It will process inappropriate block into the chain. And what will be the result then? Whatever blocks will be processed subsequently will be will be a blocks which will be later deleted, because let's say, for example, now I processed a block which is not appropriate, which is incorrect, let's say, okay, which is kind of have an integrity issue, data issue, or something like that. Subsequent blocks then will be processed. Now the problem is the block which I processed earlier has incorrect data, or has a data integrity issue or something like that, which will affect the chain above, not below but above. Because if I want to remove that particular block, I cannot remove. I need to cut off the chain from there, and I need to just remove the rest of the above part. So one issue is that. That's why you see a kind of term is known as forking, hard fork, soft fork of the chains, blockchains. So that is the one term. Second, it has a data confidentiality issue because it's a decentralized ledger. Data is available everywhere. So data confidentiality and privacy is a very big issue. Plus, if the blockchain application development protocols are weak, security is weak, I can temper the blockchain. See, blockchain is a secure concept, no doubt. But at the same time, if you have a very weak security, then it is a problem. What happens is, let's say you have a multiple block in a blockchain. Let's say block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5, block 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, hypothetical example, you have various blocks in blockchain. Okay, so these are blocks. This is a chain, blockchain, whole. Okay. Now, if I have a weak security and I want to create a very big issue for a particular company who is saving the data in blockchain, what I will do is I will go and I will modify either this particular block. I'll do some modification over here or here. I will render these block useless. I will do a modification. The way these block become will become useless. This is the start, and this is going on. The moment I'll do issue in the starting blocks, what will happen is these all blocks which are appropriately fine, which are appropriately authentic, has to be deleted. Because I cannot verify their previous block. So here this block will contain information of this block. Okay, I cannot verify this means I cannot verify this, I cannot verify this, I cannot verify this. Everything will go in problem. There are workarounds for this. Okay, you cut the chain here and run two different blockchains. But again, or try to rectify the original block. But again, there are limitations to that also. So these are a good, issues that we have with the blockchain. The risk is the strength of blockchain can also be its weakness. Inability to reverse a transaction and to access data without the required keys makes the system secure, but also means that organization needs specific protocols and management process to ensure that they are not locked out and have clear contingency plans. Cyber attacks, data hacks. Okay, so the strength is the weakness for the blockchain. Clear? Any doubt till now? I hope you understand the concept of the blockchain now in detail. Okay, the next topic that I want to discuss is NFT, non-fungible tokens. Can anyone tell me what is NFT? If you guys have already learned somewhere, if you guys have read somewhere, what is NFT? Can anyone tell me NFT? What is NFT? Can anyone tell me what is NFT? Anyone? Yes, very good, Mansha. Very good, Uday. Okay. Yes, Anumula. Good. Okay. NFT is a non-fungible token. Okay. What it means, I'll tell you. Now, these are tokens which represents, ownership, kind of. Okay. They are individually unique. They have different property based on the type of, what do you say, category of the tokens. They are different from Bitcoins, Ethereum, or cryptocurrency. They are different from cryptocurrency. They are not same as a cryptocurrency. They are different. Okay. Cryptocurrency, let's say Bitcoin. Hypothetical example. One Bitcoin that I have, and if you have one Bitcoin, they both will be having similar properties. both Bitcoin will be similar. I can exchange Bitcoin for you. So if I exchange Bitcoin with you, you give me your Bitcoin, I give you I give you mine Bitcoin. Doesn't make any difference. You won't be able to identify which Bitcoin I have. Okay. So it will show what balance I have. I have balance of 1 Bitcoin. But as I swap the Bitcoin with you, it will not be identifiable that I have made a swap. Because what will be? Because the same Bitcoin you have is the same that Bitcoin I have. So Bitcoin doesn't have a serial numbers. No. Bitcoin, Ethereums, they don't have a serial number. They are, an amount that can be exchanged. For example, the way I have a serial number on a 100 rupee note, 500 rupee note, Bitcoin don't have their serial numbers, kind of. So you cannot identify or distinguish one Bitcoin with another Bitcoin. So they are fungible, means have the same properties. The term fungible means have same properties. However, NFT is something like they don't have the same properties. Non-fungible tokens. They have individual properties that distinguish one token from another. So one token that might I have will be different than one token you have. So those are the unique fungible tokens. NFT is something unique and cannot be replaced. Okay. Cryptocurrencies are fungible, means they can be traded or exchanged for one another. Physical money. Okay. NFT is not like that way. It is based on the digital asset. It is a unique and it can be exchanged, but it is like a commodity. I'll show you an example of NFT trades. These are the NFT trades on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, each of the, let's say I'll open anyone, hypothetically. Okay. Each of the trade has a token which is transferred. If you see, this is the token. ERC71 token ID 438. This is the token detail. Everything is there. So if I open this token, this is the detail about the token over here. What is token ID and everything. So let's say I open this particular NFT. Sorry. This NFT. This is a Cyberdunk, whatever it is. Okay. I'll not go into the detail, but this is an asset. This image is an asset. This image is an asset, and for this image, a token has been created. This token is known as an NFT token. And this has a value. For example, I have a value of 0.0036 Ethereum. This token this particular image has a value of this much Ethereum because it's a commodity. But how can I identify this is mine? I can just directly right click and copy and save the image. Who will identify the authenticity of the commodity? I can directly save the image from here. Done. I can use the image. But am I the owner? By having the image, am I the owner of the image? Answer is no. The owner of the image will be this person. Why? Because he has this token, 438. So the image, the owner of the image is this person because recently he has purchased this image. Earlier he was the owner who created the image. Now 6 minutes ago there has been sale of this image, and this is now the person who has purchased this image. But the person did not purchase the image in physical. No. What he did, he just purchased the token of the image. This token is known as this token ID is which is there is known as NFT. Same way, if I show you some more things, some more transactions. So each NFT has something attached to it, some art attached to it. Let me see if I have something more worth of a huge worth. Okay, yeah, this one, cool cat. This cool cat, I don't know why, but this has been sold for 1.03 Ethereum, which is approximately 2,500 US dollars. If you see, this was minted year ago, means created year ago, then it was sold by this person, from this person to this. Now it has been sold from this to this person 10 minutes ago for this much amount, like a commodity. So the current owner is this person, and token ID is this. So if I have this token ID, I can search this, I can validate whether this is correct or not. So kind of this way, you can say. Description, this is cat pools are randomly generated like NFTs. So the owner is the owner of this image. The owner of NFT is the owner of this image. So some examples that I was showing to you guys about the NFT. So this is how, and this is what the NFT is. Now again, the challenges with the NFT is a local law. So as per local laws and regulations, it will differ from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, market to market. Owner copyright issues, owner issues, patent, trademarks, a lot of things are there. Online frauds can happen. Okay, security risk, market is not that much wide, data privacy, valid token, a lot of issues are there with the NFC. But if some companies are using NFTs, then there is a chance of these risks, and accordingly we need to deal with the NFT. Any doubt till now in understanding the technologies that we discussed? Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? No? Okay. If no further doubts, then let me proceed to the next topic, that is RPA, robotic process automation. I have already discussed in detail about the RPA, but we need to understand the audit implications of the RPA. Now you tell me, if a company is using RPA, we have already discussed the concept of RPA. What could be an implication on audit? Like, let's say if a company is using RPA for their processing of transactions. Okay, normal routine transactions. So what is the implication of RPA on audit? Okay, how will you, look into that? If I tell you, okay, this is particular RPA, how will you audit that RPA? Because we have technologies, but we need to on the same side understand how to audit those technologies. Digital auditing, remember, we have to audit these technologies. We need to understand how these technologies will impact our audit. So to carry this, let's say a company is using RPA. How will you audit that RPA? Come on, guys. How will you audit any RPA? Let's say you have a bot. Okay. How will you audit that bot? Good Mancha, yes. Sumit, we don't have blockchain behind RPA. No. Blockchain is a simple, different concept, and RPA is a different concept. Yes, Mancha. Understanding why the RPA is there in the organization. Then, what else? What else, guys? So in order to audit any RPA, I'll show you some example. Identify objectives and goals of auditing particular RPA. Why you want to audit? Determine the scope of audit, including specific aspects of the RPA, basically bot. Okay, the functionality of that particular bot, what it does. Review the regulatory and compliance standard if they are applicable to the RPA. Identify potential risk associated with the RPA, like data that has been used, system failures, or anything like that. Develop a comprehensive audit procedures to assess the effectiveness, efficiency, and compliance of that RPA. Review system architect, design, and documentations. Evaluate the security measures in place. Okay. Test the functionality by giving a dummy data. Try to test it. Verify the accuracy of the results. Give dummy input and controlled input. We say controlled input so that we know that what it should give me output. For example, if you have a calculator, you will do 2 plus 2. You know the output that it should be 4. And if the calculator shows you 5, then the calculator is gone. It's a crazy calculator. So same way, you give him the data for which you know the output and try to see what output you are getting and match with the output that you are expecting. Assess the performance of that particular RPA, response time and scalability. Analyze log, examine data handling process. Okay, see for any unusual or suspicious activities. Okay, conduct penetration testing or vulnerability assessment. Penetration testing means try to hack your own system, try to hack your own RPA or consumers or clients RPA to check its security. Decide the appropriate sample methodology, conduct the audit based on the defined procedures, document your finding, compile your audit finding into a comprehensive report, and accordingly you need to present the report. Okay, so this is how you need to audit the RPA. And when I say audit implications, it's understanding the RPA process, data extraction, sanitization, cleansing. A lot of things are there that you need to first do before you start your auditing RPAs. Now see, RPA is I call it it's a robotic process automation, but again, it's a robotic, not a IA. Okay, means let's say for example, I'll show you one hypothetical example of a RPA and how it could create a problem. Let's say you have a data, sales data, in a predefined format. You have customer name, product, quantity, price, okay, and total. And you have a customer ID. So you have these details in a sales data. Now you created a RPA. What this does is this take this particular data and by using the logic set in this RPA, it creates the invoice. Okay, the logic is take the customer ID, fetch customer details. Okay, take all this, incorporate an invoice and something like that. Now, the problem came when I changed the format of the data. When you change the format change. Okay, when you change the format of the data, this RPA doesn't know, this logic is yet not updated. So let's say along with the customer ID in column A, okay, so earlier column A was customer ID. Now instead of customer ID, I don't have a customer ID in column A, but I have a serial number. And in column B, let's say I have a customer ID. So what RPA will do is RPA will pick up the serial number, try to fetch, he will not get, and he will not create invoice. Means your RPA will go fail. What? Why? Because you just change the sales data format. Now this says RPA is not that much intelligent to identify the change in the data by itself. No. So change in the data, change in the process can render your RPA useless. And or sometimes it may create different kind of risk. What if the serial number somehow matches with the customer data? It will create incorrect invoices. Not following change management, implementation, lifecycle, improper and incomplete testing can lead to inaccurate results. Clear? So we need to check few things, before we test the RPA. We need to understand all these areas. And if I talk about overall testing in a digital environment, digital environment, digital audit, understand the system, use of the system, integration of the system, reliance on the system data, which is going into the system and coming out, the processing, logic, everything you need to understand before you, so that you can audit that particular system. We have then control under considerations or objectives of auditing digitally. So auditing digitally is kind of using the technology in audit. So for that you need to gain understanding of those technologies, consider risk from implementation of the new technologies, digital upscaling of specialists if they are required. Okay, so you need to think of all these areas when you are auditing digitally. And when you are again, auditing, when you are performing digital audits, means you are auditing the digital systems, digital technology, IT infrastructure of the client. You need to see all those details which I told you, that reliance on the system that incorrectly process the data, unauthorized access, possibility of information technology gaining privilege access. These are some kind of risk, technology risk, which is there, and you need to look for that. Unauthorized and erroneous change, unauthorized change to the system, failure to make necessary and appropriate changes, inappropriate manual intervention, potential loss, risk introduced while using third-party service providers, and cybersecurity risk. So some kind of technology risk for digital audit. RPA for the repetitive task. Yes, Mancha. And if I talk about the new term which is getting in, in picture, is a next generation audit. Next gen audit, we call it. What is the next gen audit? Next gen audit is a human-led audit only, but it is driven by the technology and data. Okay, powered by the technology and driven by the data. You combine, multiple technologies and the data set so that you can, perform the high accuracy, high efficiency audit. Okay, this is one example that earlier you were taking sample populations, now you will take full population and perform data analytics. Earlier you were having multiple data sets, now you will have one large data set interconnected with all the things. Integrated ecosystem, embedded communications within the data analytics tools. Okay, automation, insight from on the data. So a lot of things are implemented when I talk about the next gen audit. Just a kind of for example, concept which is now emerging in the market. So basically, generative AI is a kind of AI which generates some text, image, or some output. Okay. So they, for example, I'm not sure you heard is, have you heard about Mid-Journey? So Mid-Journey, ChatGPT, they are the generative AIs because they generate something on the basis of your input. So you give a kind of a prompt, do this for me, and they give you this much of output. That's a generative AI. Any doubt till now, whatever we discussed in this whole chapter? So this was about digital auditing and assurance. Understanding the technology, understanding the risk associated with the technology, and how to audit these technologies, or how to audit with the help of these technologies both. So when I talk about digital auditing, it's not only digital audit, okay, auditing the systems, but auditing digitally also means using the technology with the audit, or using the technology while auditing. Any doubts till now? Any doubts? Understand the concept here. Okay, don't go for just the wordings or the text or whatever it is. Try to understand why we have this chapter. Sorry. Try to understand why we have this particular chapter. Okay, why we have this chapter in our course or study material? The reason, because day by day, with the increase of the technology, we need to understand how to audit that technology. Number one. Number two, how to use the technology while auditing. These are the two important aspects that will decide the future course of audit. So each and every chapter has a purpose, and the purpose of this chapter, digital auditing and assurance, is to determine and is to guide you that okay, what technologies are there in the market, how you can use it, but on the same time, these technologies have some risk associated with them. Cybersecurity risk, technology risk, something is, it's not only full of advantages, but they have some data advantages also. Yes, Mancha. Digital audit and obtaining reasonable assurance through auditing digitally. Very well summarized. Any doubt till now, whatever we have discussed, I have tried to show you with practical examples. I have tried to show you with the real tools, technology that I could present, so that you can gain understanding how this technology works. Any doubt? Thorough with the concepts? Okay. If no further doubt, guys, then for the next lecture, what you need to do is you need to read the whole chapter 12. Please, if you have not read it, please read the chapter 12, and we will be starting group audits from the next chapter, next lecture. So just a minute, let me reconfirm. So on 24th, we have next lecture, that is on chapter 13, group audits. We'll be starting group audits. Please make sure you read and you are familiar with the chapter. Read it so that whenever I will be discussing, you will get a good understanding of the chapter or the concepts. Okay. So in the next lecture, I will start group audits, chapter 13. Okay. If no doubts, then thank you guys. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.